Hello everyone, my name is Kimberly Gardner. I am a senior at Howard University. I major in nutritional sciences, minor in chemistry, and have a concentration in dietetics. Last year, I was blessed enough to present at the Black in Science Communication Conference on accessibility, and I also co-organized the 30th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act Jersey City Festival, which was virtual. So I'm going to be talking about my strengths when it comes to using social media to communicate science. So my strengths is captioning and using alternative text. I use alternative text on images that I post on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram because they will describe an image to someone who has visual impairments, and if they have their smartphone set up with a screen reader, the phone will read the description of the image. Let's say it's a picture of a cat and it's described. If you use alternative text, you can describe it to the best of your ability so that that person who is on your page can have the best experience possible. So captioning, I use clips on my phone. It's already built in. I try my best to not post anything on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram that does not have captioning, whether it's the IG stories or not. If it doesn't have captioning, I will not post it. When it comes to YouTube, there is built-in captioning, and I usually put a disclaimer on the beginning of my video to say, please turn on captioning, or the CC button as well if they're able to read the information. So I would say that there are a lot of free resources out there, and it's up to us to hold ourselves accountable to making our information, our social media, as accessible as possible. Yes, I do see things evolving when it comes to scientists communicating on social media. There are a lot more scientists, whether that's research scientists or doctors, pharmacists, chiropractors. There are a lot of people in professions that are usually the information wasn't accessible to the public. They're now hopping on TikTok and teaching us, whether it's through songs, rhythms, or just plainly talking. It's really nice to see, and some of them do use captioning, so that's great. It's making it as accessible as possible and bringing that information to the masses so that we can combat the wrong information that's out there, because there are a lot of wrong information out there. There is a lot of wrong information out there, and so it's really nice when the experts are there to negate false claims. It's also important because these videos are shifting the narrative of what scientists look like. You can see someone who looks like you, whether it's close in race or ethnicity or age or gender. It's really nice to have that representation, and I'm really glad that we're shifting into more accessibility and also just visibility as well. We can ensure that social media is as inclusive as possible by using alternative text on images, by also captioning anything that we post online, whether it's using a free programming or paid programming, by realizing our audience's reading levels and not using words that are exclusive to our scientific area of expertise, but also trying to make sure that it is easy to access to the masses and understandable, and also knowing that if you're presenting to someone where English is not the native language, or the majority of people in the crowd or in the area or on the online platform does not speak English, that it has it translated. And by using an ASL interpreter, well, I live in America, so an ASL interpreter if it's going to be a public event, because you never know who in the audience has hearing difficulties. The platforms that I'm seeing boost and rise with science communication does vary by demographic. A lot of teens and young adults are on TikTok at the moment, and so a lot of the videos that do well are the ones that are flashy, use a lot of songs, a lot of quick transitions, a lot of things that keep your attention span. Although you only have 30 seconds to 60 seconds to make a video, the attention span is really important for someone at that age. It is very low, and so it really helps them stay tuned to your video and what you're trying to say when you have flashy things, colorful things, objects, images. It's just really easy to express yourself on TikTok if you're talking where the primary audience are teenagers and young adults. When it comes to Twitter, I'm seeing that there are a lot of early career scientists and established scientists that go back and forth in a discussion through a thread, which is just written text, and it's about, a thread can go from like 2 to 50, and it's really, really nice to see how they interact. Usually jargon is used, and so it can exclude teens a little. Most teens aren't on Twitter, most of them are on TikTok and Instagram. Instagram for science communication can be made through carousels, those slides that you pass. The Brain Coach is a great example of that. She is Canadian as well, and so it just really depends on the demographic you're trying to find. The best thing about YouTube, which is what I specialize in, I love YouTube, is that it's a search engine. If you master the search engine optimization, also known as SEO, you will be able to have videos show up based on what somebody searches for, whereas on Instagram and TikTok you cannot search for a specific video. You can search from using a hashtag for a certain topic, but I can search for a specific video on YouTube, and so that's what I prefer to use when it comes to my communication with the masses. I prefer to talk about college readiness, high school readiness, and grad school readiness on my page. If you want to follow me on any of my socials, they're on the screen. Thank you so much. Bye bye.